What's up, you guys? It's your girl Cassidy. Welcome back to my channel. So this is definitely a different setup today. I'm sitting at not my filming desk, which is ahead of me, but I'm sitting at my work editing desk. I have my computer here. I decided to use this desk just because there's more space on here. I have a bunch of stuff on my filming desk. Today, obviously, I am going to show you guys how I do acrylic tips and gel polish at home. So I'm really excited for this video because with quarantine, it has had all of our maintenance steps just be looking ratchet. I'm pretty sure all of us have been looking crazy. So I'm just excited to bring this to you guys, how I do my nails at home. I am nowhere near a professional. I have already done my right hand. So this was the hand that was harder for me to do. I didn't want to film it because I knew it was going to be harder, but it turned out really cute. So I'm super excited to do my my left hand with my right, you know what I mean? You know what I mean. This was my first time ever doing tips, ever doing acrylic tips on myself. This is the first time I've ever done it. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos before deciding to film this video. I definitely ordered some things on Amazon before filming this video. So everything that I ordered to do this whole nail process, I will have it linked down below. And for the polish, I bought a gel polish kit. So I have my UV light here and I have my gel nail polishes here as well. So obviously I already have this hand done. As you can see, this is how they turned out. Not too bad for my first time. They're obviously not perfect. They're not maybe as thin or as smooth as I would want them to be, but I think for my very first time ever doing acrylic tips, I did them pretty good. I got these Instant Perfection French tips and I got these on Amazon. This is by the brand BU. These tips are completely clear, so that's what I really like about them. A thing that I don't love about these is when I put them on, as you can see, if I were to glue them on, there's a huge arch here. Now when I first tested it on my nails, I was like, oh my god, that's a huge curve. But once you cut them down, as you can see, there's actually no curve once they're a little bit shorter. If you keep them long, obviously the curve is going to stay, but if you cut them to right about here, there's going to be no curve. So I would suggest getting these if you're interested in not doing your nails too long and you don't want that super curved look. So those are the tips that I got. I went ahead and measured out my sizes already. The way I sized it is I just made sure that it's kind of right exact to my nail on these outer edges. Made sure it's not going in. I would prefer to have them a little bit oversized than undersized, because then you get a weird little indent or gap right here in your nail. So I went ahead and sized them already. What I'm gonna do with this hand is I'm just gonna cut my nails a little bit because I don't like when they are sticking out from underneath. So now they're nice and short how I want them. They're not going to show underneath on this back side. So now I'm taking the tool that came in my gel kit and I'm just going to push my cuticles back. My cuticles are already pretty pushed back, but I just want to make sure they're all the way back just so that I can have a nice clean application. The one thing that I don't have is a cuticle cutter, which is pretty bad. If you guys do have a cuticle cutter, it's going to make your life so much easier in getting rid of these little stray pieces of skin on the side. Next, what I'm going to do, I want the nails, these tips, to stick to my nails pretty well. So I'm just going to go ahead and file my nail beds a bit. I'm actually not filing them. I'm using the buffer that came in the gel kit. So I'm just going to buff them out and make sure that they have a little bit of texture. That way the acrylic will stick on nice and long, because you want to make sure that your nails aren't too smooth, because that'll make the tips not last as long and kind of just pick up off of the nails. So just try to create a little bit of texture. Don't over file on your nails because you might thin them out too much, so you want to be kind of careful. I also feel like my hands do the weirdest movements when I'm doing my nails. They're just I'm taking my little makeup brush and I use this to just help dust off any excess dust. There's going to be a ton of dust later on once we actually start filing and shaping the acrylic. The acrylic that I'm using is literally from Walgreens, you guys. So this is the little kit that I got. I have the acrylic powder and the acrylic liquid, and then it came with this little brush. So this is what came together in the kit. And I think it was about like $10 or something, maybe a little less. Just wanted to show you guys that. Now I've obviously already measured my nails, so I'm taking some nail glue. I'm gonna start with my thumb, and then I'm just placing a drop at the bottom there, making sure it's like on the edges, and then I'm gonna go ahead and press the nail onto my nail. This is the part that you kind of want to be careful with, because you want to make sure you're putting the nail on straight. Like I made the mistake of, with this ring finger, I put the nail on crooked, and then I had to like file out sides more, and it was a little weird, but it ended up okay. But you don't want to have to deal with that, obviously. As you can see, I have the long ass tips on. I'm gonna put it against my black sweater because I feel like you can see it a little better. They're very curved, like they look like this. Like, I don't really like that in nails. I wish that they were straight. If they were straight, I feel like I would have kept them a little bit longer, because I do like pretty long nails. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut right here. I'm just using a regular nail clipper because obviously I don't have one of those like tip clippers, which would be so much easier. Now that I have the length that I want, I can get started with my acrylic. So this is the fun part, but also the part where I have to really focus and really pay attention to what I'm doing. And I want to get it as smooth as possible so I don't have to do as much filing. Yesterday I had to do so much filing to smooth this over. I'm gonna start with my thumb. So first I just like to dip the paintbrush or little brush that the kit comes with into the acrylic bottle. I dip it once and then I tap it like about twice on the side so it can like drip off some of the excess, and then I go ahead and I just push it into the pile of acrylic. So I have a little ball right there. What I like to do is put it right in the center of the nail, and then I just push down on the brush. So you could see like it kind of went back there. It gets close to the cuticle, and then I just start brushing the acrylic all around. Sometimes you have to work a little bit quickly because you don't want it to solidify, and then you know, you're just kind of like stuck with that shape. So don't be afraid to like push into it. This acrylic is not delicate, and even if you wipe too much off, you could always just add it on again. So don't be too worried about that. So I have a little bit of a first layer. I don't really do it by layers. I just do it until it looks as even as possible. I'm picking up a little bit more, not too much, but I have a little hole right there. So I want to go ahead and fill that in. Have that nice and solid. I like to look at the nail from the side because then I can see like if there are any bumps or just like missing areas that I want to get a little bit filled in. I just obviously don't want it to be too thin or too thick, so I'm trying to get that right amount. And then I'm left with this big, lumpy, not so cute right now looking thing, but that's okay because you file and perfect everything once all the acrylic has dried down. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next nail. Again, picking up a pretty big ball of that and just piling it on the nail as best as I can. I would say you want it to be more wet than dry, because the more wet it is, the easier it ends up being to like move the acrylic around. When it's dry, it's kind of hard to, once it starts drying out, it's kind of hard to shape things and move them. So you want it to be more wet than maybe you would expect. So on this finger, I went overboard right on this side. So again, I'm gonna take that little tool and I'm just gonna clean up around my cuticle area. Because I'm not a professional, that just happens, right? So I wanna clean it up, that way when I have to go in and file later, I'm not like filing onto my skin, because that happened to me a few times on this hand. Okay guys, so I have two pretty lumpy nails now. What I'm gonna do is just finish these three off of camera, just because I'm pretty much doing the same exact thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish those and come right back. Guys, so I have went ahead and finished the application of the acrylic. They look pretty crazy right now, but I will say my pinky, I think, came out the best. Like, that was the one that I did that it was smooth. I applied a lot more liquid than I would kind of like think that I need, and that makes it so much easier to shape. These came out pretty bumpy. My ring finger came out pretty bumpy. Wow, that looks kind of crazy. What I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna take both of my nail filers and I'm just gonna start going ham filing these nails, smoothing them down on top, getting them the shape that I want. So that's just what I'm gonna start doing, and this is the part that takes the longest, because since I'm not so good at applying the acrylic smoothly, I have to do a lot of filing to get it nice and smooth. When I think I'm around done filing the nail, as you can see, I take my brush and I wipe all the dust away. I can now see these little holes and little divots that the file doesn't look like it reached. So when I see that, I know that I need to keep on filing so I can get a really smooth application. So I'm gonna go ahead and just continue on filing. Then I go ahead and brush the dust away again. And I am pretty happy with how this nail looks. Like, looking at it from all the different angles, trying to analyze it from the side, and I feel like it doesn't have any bumps. It looks pretty smooth to me. So I'm happy with that turns out. And I'm literally going to do the same exact thing on all of these other nails. I'll come back to you guys when these nails are filed. Okay guys, so I have finally finished filing down all the nails. I love the shape that they are. I love the thinness or thickness of them, I guess you can say. And I'm just really happy with how they turned out. Now I'm gonna go ahead and start painting. I have my gel polishes here. This is a base coat and then the top coat, and then I'm using the baby pink color. I obviously have 5 other colors here, but I just want to keep it neutral and do a light baby pink. So this is basically just the part where it's a regular gel manicure. So I'm gonna go ahead in with the base, 2 coats of the color, and then I'm gonna go ahead and do a top coat, and that's really just all that I have to do. Cure the first layer for 60 seconds, and then this is in the UV LED nail lamp. So I just leave that in for 60 seconds and then I cure it for 60 seconds with every single coat that I do. Alright guys, so this is the final finished product, as you can see, this is how everything turned out. I actually love the way this hand turned out rather than this one. They're kind of a little bit thicker than maybe I would normally want, but again, these were my first time doing like acrylic tips myself at home, so I think I did a pretty good job for my first time. I missed these babies, so if you guys want to see the next time that I do my nails, maybe if I'll do like a fill-in or something else, something different, let me know if you guys want to see another like part 2 DIY nails at home. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!